What if the biggest thing standing in the way between you and your next business goal isn't a funnel, isn't an offer, isn't your niche, isn't your content plan? What if it's your leadership skills? You see, leadership is so key. Leadership is at the foundation of every business. In this video, I want to show you why mindset conditioning is so important for good leadership. I want to cover 3 important things that have helped me on my business journey and helped me become a better leader in my business. If you're new here, my name is Elisha. I help female founders expand the woman, expand their identity behind the business so they can grow successful, vibrant, expansive businesses. So I recently had a call with a client and we was talking about leadership, and we was going through her bottleneck, we're going through things that she was struggling with, and then we covered leadership, and then we discussed how she can improve her leadership in her business. So I just want to go through in this short video of a couple of things that have helped me and helped my clients become better leaders in their business. So leadership requires 3 important things. So for me, what's really shifted things for me is self-love, self-mastery, and self-discipline. So what really shifted things for me in my business was really focusing on self-love. You see, with my story as being a carer, being a single mom, those stories trickled into the way that I showed up in my business, the way that I valued myself, the way that I would interact with people, the way that I would present myself in public or online, just my energy and my vibrancy and my vibration that I would emanate. It would come from a fear-based place. It would come from a place of lack. It would come from a place of poverty consciousness. So me pouring into the pillar of self-love really helped me ignite my creativity. It enabled me to be more in my flow. It enabled me to see my worth and my value. You see, self-love isn't just about, going on a romantic trip and buying yourself some flowers and lighting a candle. It's about seeing your inner worth. It's about appreciating your inner worth. It's about valuing your gifts, your talents, your abilities. It's about acknowledging, appreciating, and valuing your oneness. And your oneness is unique to you. Your oneness is in your seed. See, no one else in the world is like you. No one in the world is like you. No one has your ideas, your thoughts. Nobody has your story, your beliefs, your principles, your energy. Nobody has that but you. What I had to do was to unlearn the patterns of looking at my past in a negative way and allowing that to trickle into my future, into my business, into my love life, into my friendships. It's about accepting what was. It's about accepting what happened in the past and taking those things as lessons. So beyond the candles and the roses and all of that and going to the spa, self-love requires you to love yourself where you are, from where you've been, regardless of where you've been. It's about accepting who you are now today. When you've done that, when you loved yourself so much, when you love yourself so much, you can appreciate your value. So when you appreciate your value, you're going to show up online with such vibration of increase. You're going to show up so magnetic. You're going to appreciate that you're giving people value because you're valuable. You have skills, you have abilities, you have principles and beliefs. You've learned so much. You have so many lessons. That then will pour into your products, pour into your services, your clients that you're serving. You won't shrink yourself because you're comparing yourself to others because of your past or what you've been through. No, you're going to see it as a strength. You're going to see what you've been through, your path, your pathway to where you are now as a lesson that you can help others with. And that's really, really valuable. So self-love. Love yourself for who you are, no matter where you've come from, no matter the circumstance. Love yourself regardless, because you are valuable. This will show up in your pricing, in your content, will show up in your energy. This really shifted me and shifted my clients. Practicing the art of self-love can be done in many, many ways. For me, it's meditation. It's connecting with my oneness, connecting with the universe. It's about appreciating myself from the inside out as a spiritual being. For you, it could be journaling. But at the core of it, at the very, very core, whatever practice you do, it's about accepting, acknowledging who you are, what you are, and the brilliance that you have to bring to the world. And that goes for every single one of us. You must view yourself as unique and brilliant, because with that, you then pass that on and impact others with the products and services that you provide. So the next pillar is that of self-mastery. It's mastering of self. So in order to be an effective leader, you need to learn to master yourself. You see, this really shifted for me in my life to enable me to go from a carer to 6 figures, and it's also helped my clients as well. When you learn to master yourself, you really do become effective as a leader and a businesswoman. So what do I mean by self-mastery? What I mean by self-mastery is always be growing, always expand. So you need to master yourself. You need to understand who you are and how you think. You need to understand, why are you behaving the way that you are? Why are you getting the results that you're getting? Why am I where I am in my business? What's happening? You do that by studying yourself. Growth and expansion are so, so important. You see, you must learn. You must always be learning. You must always be growing. You must always be trying to push yourself to the next level. And I don't mean that with force. I mean that with excitement. I mean that with, okay, I'm at this level. It's time to step up to the next level. As long as it's in line with your vision and your goals. It's not about force. But self-mastery is about mastering yourself. It's about improving self. What can you improve on? What can you expand on? What's your next level? What am I afraid of? Because if you're afraid of something, that's something that you need to execute in your business. So this is where you look introspectively, look into self. When you look at yourself and you start to journal or meditate and things start to come up about, you start to identify things that you're scared of. Okay, why did I not take up that offer last month where they asked me to speak on stage? Why didn't I post that post? And why did I delete it? Why did I feel a bit ashamed to post it? See, the more you look into self, the more you can see who you really are, and certain things will come up that will show you what you've been avoiding, what you've been procrastinating on, what you've kind of let go of. Because when you look at that, you can see you've been keeping yourself at a certain point, at a certain ceiling. So it's always about growing. It's always about expanding. So what I ask my clients to do is to journal. To journal and try and uncover what things have you been afraid of. When we've identified things that you've been afraid of, we then put an action plan in place where you go about doing those things. Because you're not going to get confident at them by staying in the fear. You're going to get confident in them by stepping forward and doing it anyway. So self-mastery is a really, really big thing if you want to become a better leader. The next one is self-discipline. So I don't mean, forcing yourself to do, 4 a.m. wake up times and all that kind of stuff. Go into the gym for 2 hours a day. Self-discipline is about discipline yourself. It's about having boundaries. It's about having boundaries over your time and your energy. It's about disciplining your thinking, disciplining what you, it's about disciplining what you take in through other people, through the television, through music. It's about disciplining your actions. So with me, for me to excel more in business and to change the direction of my life, I had to discipline myself because I had such erratic, unproductive thinking. I had to actively work in a way that silenced those thoughts. So I was always thinking about not having enough of money, not having enough time, not having enough childcare, not having enough staff. I was always in the not having enough. So I had to filter out my thinking, discipline my thinking to be more in a way of abundance, of overflow. I am a woman who has more money coming in. I have leads coming in. I have the staff that I need. I have the systems in place. I have money in abundance. My children are well behaved. You know, having disciplined thinking really does help you become a better leader. On top of that, it's about effectively using your 24 hours a day that you have. We all have 24 hours, as we all know, but it's about making sure that we're not doing stupid things with our time. One thing that I used to do a lot is spending way too much time doing chores. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I used to spend way too much time cleaning my house. I don't know why, because, you know, as businesswomen, we know we're not being paid to clean our homes. We're just not. And if we work out our hourly rate, we are really shortchanging ourselves, you know. So I had to discipline myself to not overly obsess over the state of my home as I'm building my business. That's a big one for me. And also, it's not working too late, not cramming and trying to do too many things, putting too many hours into work. It's about, no, I'm going to bed at a certain time and I'm going to discipline myself because I'm going to become a better leader. I'm going to be more relaxed. I'm going to be nicer to be around. I'm going to be able to make better decisions. I'm just going to be more healthier, mind, body and soul if I get my rest. So self-love, self-mastery, self-discipline will help you become a better leader because you're going to see yourself as valuable. You're going to appreciate your values, your skills, your abilities. You're going to master yourself. You're going to continue to grow and increase. Okay, and also self-discipline. You're going to master your thinking, master your actions, master your time and your energy. These all will help you become a better leader. Please do let me know if this information helped you. I would love to hear more about your business. So 3 things I want you to think about as you go about your business journey is, am I loving myself? Am I pouring into myself? How can I be more self-loving? Also think about, am I growing? Am I expanding? Are you at a ceiling and you're not growing? You haven't sought a mentor. You're not taking in new information. You're not reading any books. Are you growing and are you mastering yourself? Another one is, how can I be more disciplined with my time, my energy and my thinking? If this video has resonated with you, I would love to hear from you in the comments and I will see you in the next video.